Hi guys, this is Scott with Honest Home Solutions. Today we're going to be talking just very briefly on the two most important aspects or two pieces of information you can gather from your initial phone call with a motivated seller. Again, whether it's inbound or an outbound lead. And it's one, what is their motivation and how motivated are they? And two, the most important thing to the purchase of any home is what their equity is in the property. It's going to be very, very difficult to purchase a property at a discount as a cash buyer without a certain level of motivation from a potential seller. Think about it. If somebody's unmotivated, they're not really in a big rush, they want the maximum, what ultimately is a retail value for their home, they're going to look for a real estate agent. They're going to list the property, take their time that way. For us, we're looking for motivators. Is it a tired landlord? Perhaps they had a tenant just move out, they took golf clubs to the walls, and they do not want to deal with this property anymore. That's a motivating factor. Some of you may have already dealt with that. It's an estate property. We're dealing with one right now where the brother lives in Ohio. His mother unfortunately had passed in the past few months, and he does not want to have to come back here, doesn't want to have to deal with any of the renovations or cost of repairs, really just wants a simple transaction. And just really needs the numbers to make sense to him, but he's willing to take a discount on the property just to make it easy. Three, this is very common that we'll see is expensive repairs. Let's say a property's maybe clean, but it hasn't been updated in 45 years. And the homeowner's looking to downsize, they may be moving into a senior care facility, and they just don't want to have to spend $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to renovate the home to get top market value. That's a niche we fit in as well. So there's a certain motivating factor there. So the goal is in your conversation as you build rapport, asking the right questions and finding out what is it? What has you thinking about selling the property, Mr. Seller? What's your picture perfect? Where do you want to be with the sale of your home? What's your time frame need to be? By asking very basic questions like that, you're going to have the conversation where they start to drop little pieces of what motivates them to make the decision. It's not always going to work. Sometimes people will say, you sent me a postcard, just make your offer. And that's your first indicator. It could be a less motivated lead, but sometimes the people that put up the strongest fronts, the biggest walls, have the biggest motivating factors behind the scenes that they don't want to talk about. Maybe it's upcoming foreclosure. Maybe their property is going to sheriff or tax sale. A variety of things that are just difficult to talk about with somebody you've never met and you're only speaking to for the first time. So by building rapport, you will allow those pieces of information to come out when otherwise your competitors who aren't doing that won't find that out. They won't know how to paint the picture perfect for the seller. The second aspect is equity. And this one's really simple. I mean, if somebody owes more on their property than what they can sell it for, they are upside down. It's going to be impossible to purchase that for cash. You could then convert that to a potential short sale listing. There's a couple of different opportunities that you may have with that lead, but it's not going to be a straight cash offer. Equity is just very important. I ask the question pretty simply. So at the very end of my call, hopefully I've built enough rapport to have the conversation. I say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, do you owe anything in back taxes or any liens? Are there any liens against the property? Yes, no, whatever their answer is, it's okay. And then I follow up just very quickly. Oh, and I'm sure you don't have a mortgage, but is there still anything owed against the house as far as a mortgage or a loan like that? I ask it pretty much like that, a variety every different time. Every time I talk to him, it's a little different, but sticks to that general format or framing. And for the most part, 9 times out of 10, I'll get an answer from him. Yeah, I owe $50,000 in the house. I owe $10,000. Maybe it's all equity. Obviously, all equity is best for us, but it's really important for you to get the equity position of your seller so you can diagnose the deal and either send your listing agent and your short sale agent to the property or send your acquisitions agent for a cash buy. So again, motivation and equity, the most two important factors and bits of information you should ascertain and get on that initial phone call.